Hello, Ben here with Service Six Sigma. Are joining our live stream early to watch our pre-reels that we have on our live stream. Play this for about 10 minutes and then we will start our show at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you.
John Carmazon teaches valuable insights into selling service bundles to customers. To watch the whole episode, visit www.service6sigma.com. Learn what happened next in Brian Hoyt's amazing and inspiring life story at service6sigma.com. We have many guests that we have on our show. Be part of a growing community of guest speakers and share your professional insight in the mobile service industry. Welcome to a free live stream built around 6 sectors. This live stream created for mobile service professionals. We would like to introduce you to your hosts, Ben Bergloff and Perry Tate. Welcome to Service Six Sigma, your live stream for mobile service professionals. We want to thank you for joining our show today. Please stand by as our show is about to start. Thank you.
Boom.
Boom. And we're live. Okay, running a bit late because Jamie and me were talking and we forgot to look at the clock. So I am not going to do a Service Six Sigma review this morning. I am going to go straight into the introduction of Mr. Jamie Schmidt, Mr. Positive, the main man.
What is up?
How are you, Jamie?
How you doing? I'm just sharing this out for you guys so we can get some of our good friends to come out here and hang out with us tonight.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. What is up, fellas?
Well, we are over 40 episodes now, so we're nearly ready to let everybody know, because I always think if everybody really enjoys one, they want to be able to do a bit of a binge, while they're working, get into the podcast and all that. So we've got nearly everything's loaded up on YouTube, and it's cracking along. But we're thrilled to have you here, I've got to tell you. It's been a long time since we've chatted, actually, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been quite a while, actually, to be honest with you.
Yeah, life goes quickly. One year.
Yep, it does. But no, definitely looking forward to hanging out with you guys tonight and talking business and whatever we talk, man. I love hanging out with my peers and talking. That's what I enjoy doing, man. Yeah, it's good. I wanted, we talked about. Actually, I think I suggested PWMCA as the topic. Because I think there's people that may not have been to orgs, or they've only heard of the big old ones, Mm-hmm.
And I was with you on that journey, at the very beginning of PWMCA when you decided this is what you wanted to do,
Yep, you were.
So I and now this is what we were chatting about just before, but I think that let's talk about PWMCA because it's the brotherhood. I mean, I love that topic. I know we're just talking about it, but we talk about what it means to you and what it means to the people that are part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that's what I see it as a brother. That's what we all call it, a brotherhood. I mean, to me, it's a brotherhood. I mean, we try to build something where we're there for each other. I mean, that's what it comes down to. If somebody needs help, if they have a subject, they're trying to work on something, we try to help. We try to be there for them. If they're going through struggles in life, outside of business, we want to be there for each other. And we built a pretty strong brotherhood, man. We've done a couple 24-hour live streams. I know you donated to them before in the past.
Yes.
That we stayed up for 24 hours raising money for members that were struggling with
Who was
conditions.
that time? I'm trying to think.
The last one we did was from David Flipping for his granddaughter with leukemia. She's doing really well. Then we did one for Corey Flannery, which his wife has since passed.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a horrible story. Yeah.
Yeah. So but that's what it's about, man. Coming, we have so many awesome people that will step up and at the drop of a dime.
I'm a big UFC fan, and what I love about UFC is the simple principle of respect. Did you watch UFC 300? Do you watch UFC?
Yes. Yep.
Did you watch the last one?
Yes.
With Oliveira.
Yep.
And you look at that and you go, they're already in the octagon. A lot of guys put themselves in the zone and they won't show respect until after the fight. But Oliveira showed respect at the beginning of each round, and then they go to beat each other up and try and choke each other out, and and then afterwards have a hug, have a debrief, or if somebody knocks somebody out, they'll kneel alongside them and be there for them. Yeah. And I go, this is that on the field, off the field mentality, and our industry, this is what I think you bring to the industry. Ray brings to the industry, and then but there's a lot of other guys that just don't get how important it is to have an on the field, off the field attitude. On the field, if we need to compete, I might win the job, you might win the job. But off the field, we're together, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
And on the field, you can share a job even. We had somebody on the other day who built a network of all his local guys, took them all out for lunch, and people ring up and, try and get prices off him, and he'd say, hey, why don't we just have lunch? And then now he's sharing jobs, he's retired, and share. Who was it? TJ,
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the way to be, man. We even do it. We do it here. I have competitors here that I help. I have one that I've been mentoring for a couple of years now, and I have one that I brought into a big job we did, a big building, and it's just we can all get along and coexist. I mean, I get it. We're competitors. We're all going after the same jobs most of the time, and I understand that. But we also can be civil.
But it's only
and
it's only money.
It's only money.
It's
right?
only money.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, also at the same time you were starting your group, you had a serious health scare, right?
Yeah. Back in I guess it was 19 or whatever COVID started. I don't know. It was that. It was right at that time.
Around that time.
It was right at the time. I was actually I found out actually like 3 days before I had to go to Cincinnati to do a boot camp. So I found out 3 days before that I had cancer, and then I go to Cincinnati, and then I get there, and then the news comes on TV like all flights are being canceled and crossed everywhere, and I'm like, crap, I might be stuck in Cincinnati too.
Wow. Yeah, and so I a lot of my best friends have had near-death experiences or life-threatening experiences, where they've just realized that all that petty stuff just doesn't matter anymore. But I've got a feeling you were already like that. In fact, I'm sure you were. Like you've never been into the pettiness, have you?
No. Well, I mean, I did get involved in some of it with, back in the day. I got involved in some of it. There was some stuff that went on for a while. But I had since got over that and forgave them and said, hey, man, let's, we can talk to each other and be cordial. We don't have to be friends. You know what I mean? But
that wasn't exactly petty, by the way.
That wasn't petty. That was pretty big. But yeah,
pretty big.
But if you look at it, it was really pettiness that turned it into being pretty big, though. You know what I mean?
Yes, actually, it's pettiness that turned it into something big.
We should have just all separated our own ways and said, "Hey,
Yeah.
But
well, that's the thing. And then, so how did you build PWMCA? How did you reach out? Who was your first member? Can you remember?
Yeah. So, no, I was doing events before the PWMCA, so. I kind of launched it at my second event. So
right.
Yeah, I launched it at my second event. And I wasn't even going to do it, quite honestly. I wasn't going to do it. I had no intentions of doing an organization. I just wanted I enjoyed doing the shows, and the boot camps, and I had a conversation with someone that I respect a lot, and doesn't get involved in drama, doesn't get involved in anything. And I was talking to him one day, and he said, why don't you start an association? And I'm like, well, you're really pushing this other association a lot. Why would you even say that to me? And he goes, well, here's the phone call I just got. This is what happened to me. And this is so, yeah. So I was like,
Oh yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it, and I did it, and it's been good, man. We have some awesome members.
And what are you getting now? Like, if you run an event, what are you getting? 120, 150? Am I right?
250-ish.
250.
Yeah, 250.
Wow.
Yeah.
You see, that's a decent size.
Yeah. Now, I mean, events, man. Winter events are. There's too many winter events. Okay.
Right.
There's too many winter events. That's, in the wintertime, especially in Florida, you have event after event stacked on top of each other. So, I mean, it's not really no secret. It has been. I mean, it's been announced in some events, but this February is going to be a little bit different. ResponsiCon, I know you guys had Kurt on last week.
Yep.
So us, ResponsiCon, some other people are involved. We're teaming up to do one event in the winter.
Nice.
Instead of doing multiple events, just doesn't make any sense.
No, smart as.
Doesn't make a sense for us. It's really stressful. It doesn't make a sense for attendees. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
They can't.
Yeah.
They can't afford to go to all these events, man.
Right.
Your average contractor can't. You can't.
No.
And
who do you reckon?
Okay.
Who do you reckon's the target for, let's say, PWMCA?
So, so for me, it's a little bit different, and that's probably why we don't really go out there and try to grow the association. And mine is nothing against the new guys, because we have plenty of new guys, and I learn stuff from new guys.
Yeah.
But we don't we don't go out there and target new guys like, hey, come join us, and we're going to teach you how to. It's most of our guys are been around a little bit, at least 4 or 5 years.
Yep.
That's kind of our target. Trying to.
Yep.
My goal is not to bring people into the industry. I want to work with the people we have in the industry now and say, let's raise the industry so we stop competing and having all these customers saying, hey, look at all these quotes I got for like pennies. Right.
Yeah.
That's what I would love to do. So nothing against you guys.
So I might be able to ask you this question because it's always sat on my mind. Like, the carpet industry has got the $99 guy, right? In fact, almost the entire carpet industry is the $99 guy, but they walk away with $400 or $500 every time.
Yes.
Is there any $99 guy in the pressure washing industry that you know of that runs a $99 bait and is good at upselling like a carpet cleaner is? Is there anybody like that, or are they all price?
No, there's a couple guys like that. I mean, it's a tough model, man. I ran that model. That's the whole reason that pressure washing motivation exists. That's the reason why PWMCA exists, because that model sucked. And when I left that model in 2000 and rebranded in 2017 as Greenway. I lived
what were you before that?
So we had trucks wrapped 149. So I had 4 trucks 149 wrapped.
No way, you were that guy.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely, man. And that's the reason I started Motivation, because I wanted to let these guys know, because I've seen a lot of guys going down that path saying, hey, I'm not telling you not what to do, but I'm telling you this is what happens.
Right.
Can you be busy? Absolutely, man. We were really busy. We were really, really busy.
Right.
Did I make a lot of money? Yeah, I made a lot of money. A lot of money.
What was your average ticket?
Looking back then, we still had pretty high average tickets because of our salespeople.
Yep.
The problem was the customers that you would attract running that deals. The technicians, their pay was based on commissions. And, it just turned into be a lot of, if they go to a house and the people are just getting the house washed and they don't want anything else, technicians really not happy. The customer feels that. Yeah. It's just a shit show. So yeah, it was a lot.
I can't believe you did that. But would you average ticket would end up at $500 or $600? Would you get to that high?
If I average it out, it depends on what truck. So I would say 400 would be the average.
Right. Okay.
We had one guy that was a sales machine, and he sold a lot. But yeah, we did a living social deal, that killed us. Like, it buried us, man. We had like 1,000, over 1,000. I can't remember now. Back over 1,000 people bought this living social deal. So it was just insane.
No way.
Yeah, and people were buying it, and they were buying it. They were like, it was up. I don't remember the top of my head, but it was like up to a 2,000 square foot house. The deal was for, and they would have a 3,000 square foot house, and they would be like,
still want it. Yeah.
Like, and they would go and they would leave you a review like, oh, they friggin' upcharge us. Well,
no shit.
It was that kind of stuff. So man.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So, but it's an interesting conversation because there'd be very few guys who could even relate to it. In our industry now, I don't think. But and the feeling that you're incredibly successful because you're incredibly busy would have been, and you were younger, right? So you had that vibrancy about you, I'm sure.
Yes. Yeah, but I had a partner in that, business. So, but I know guys are doing it now, man. But I know guys that are doing their average tickets are low.
Well, that's going to happen more as the recession hits as well, like inflation and recession, all those things. They'll attract more customers, but they won't get the upsells, and then they'll be right where you had your living social. It'll just be, but real.
I know, and it's we're starting to feel that a little bit now. I'm seeing that here, honestly, where I've never seen as many. I've never seen as many like low bids that I've been seeing recently. Honestly,
right?
We're seeing it, so we're seeing it daily, and I'm seeing customers that are it's becoming a little bit harder. It's to sell them on value. We all talk about value. I know me and Ray Burke talked about this a few years ago, about the $99 guy. And they can't hurt us because they can't hurt our business. And me and Ray said, well, we talked about this and said, hey, well, how about if your area gets flooded by $99 guys?
Right.
So now the clients get, say they get 4 estimates. I think that's a lot, but say they get 4 and they got 3 estimates that are in that cheap range, and they got you in like this whole complete different range. It becomes more difficult. It becomes more difficult, honestly.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's, there's always a sine curve, the business always goes through different sine curves on different topics, but everything has a sine curve. It goes up and goes down.
Yep.
And then you kind of need what happens is the market floods, and then there's a crash, and then all of those guys have to sell their equipment. Yep. I remember back in the day, you'd see Facebook just chock-a-block with equipment.
Yep.
The young guy had been sold, and within a year, because it was just bad timing, and within a year, he's selling all the kit that he spent $10,000 on or more, Yep. And then all of a sudden, all that's left is the good guys, and then the good guys keep, have to charge, but it's because you have to keep the trucks busy, isn't it? No matter what. That's the rule of business.
Yep. So we completely turned around, man. I got the $99guy.com. I have that website, so people go there. That's a real website.
That is amazing.
You're right. So the problem does become, man, and we touched a little about owner operator earlier, with off camera, but owner operators can get through a little bit better because the overhead's not really there, and they don't have other families to worry about. That becomes the issue, right? The issue becomes like, okay, we got other people that rely on us to eat, not just us. Yes. But
and you got to be responsible, right? Because you got to pay insurances and make sure you got workers' comp, and you got to, you got to keep all the trucks, cracking along so they don't break down in the middle of a day or middle of a job, or all the gear.
So, I try at this point now. I won't. Because we all have slowest times. It's a roller coaster, man. We all have slow times. But I refuse to. I'm not gonna. I know how much money we need to bring in today. So, when we hit those slow times, we try to fill it with commercial whenever we can. But if we can't, I'm not going to go and say, okay, we're going to wash houses for $99 to try to fill the schedule. I get creative in other ways. So last year, I actually ran a promotion when it got slow in the summer, and some people didn't like it. Well, I don't know, maybe one competitor didn't like it, but I looked at what we do, and I use Responsibid. We do bundle packages. Everybody do big bundles and all that. So I said, okay, let's offer something to people that's going to keep our average ticket high. It's going to keep them trucks hit our numbers every day. without saying, hey, we'll wash your house for $100. How can we do that? So what I came up with is we ran a promotion up to a 2,500 square foot house. If you bought a premium roof wash, we would wash the house for free. And guys were like,
right.
You're like, you're crazy. I'm like, I'm not crazy. I'm like, look at it. There's people that are giving 20-25% off of a bundle package, right? I'm like, so if you take that out of the equation and you charge full price for that roof, no discount.
Yes.
That house wash, it's really not that much of a difference. And my guys are rinsing the house anyway. So, I mean, that's part of our procedures. You know, when we're doing a roof, they're down there rinsing the house. So we use remote boxes. Hey, hit the soap on, soap the house, rinse it. It doesn't really add too much time, honestly. And it gave people value. So we weren't saying, hey, we're going to come out here and do your house for $100, but we're going to give you some serious value. And that worked really well for us. That worked really, really well for us. So
look at you.
Hey,
that's amazing.
You got to think outside the box sometimes, man. I mean, it's
What percent were you? But that's the amazing thing about you, because you've been the $99 guy. You know, is that you can think the whole spectrum, right? Mm-hmm. You can still use your old thinking if you need to, you know. Whereas the average guy who's only been value and only been high price and only been the best in town, he doesn't have that in him, you know. Exactly. So he's going to have a DNA problem. He's going to squirm every time.
Yep.
You get, you know, little bouts of diarrhea even as he thinks about it.
Man, it's not hard, man. It's really running that business model of $99, like, and not even 99. I mean, we call it 99, but it could be like 120.
Oh, sure, it could be 199 or whatever.
It is, right? Yeah, it's not really hard to fill trucks with that business model. It's not. It's really not.
Yeah.
There is customers. I mean, believe it or not, guys don't want to believe it. There are customers that will not pay premium price. They won't pay. They don't care. Their house it'll stay dirty.
Yeah.
The only reason they're going to buy is because they've seen this deal. Like, oh crap, for that.
Yeah, I can afford that. Because people have only got a limited, you know, the people who are on salaries have only got a limited income. They can't go and do something to get more money. So that pot of money pays Netflix, Hulu, you know, the squash club or whatever sport he plays, and you know, the date night can't be sacrificed, you know, at the quality of the what the family's used to and the kids' educations. And then at the end of the day, it's like, what can I afford for, you know, keeping my house clean, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah. They're not going to sacrifice too much to wash the house. I mean, they're just not, and that's why the customers. I mean, that's why you got to hunt. Those customers don't have to sacrifice. Like, it's a lot for them. It's like, hey, I want to pay for the service. I want to pay to have it done an awesome job, and So I've done both business models, man. I know. So if anybody out there is doing that business model or thinking about it, hit me up, man, and I'll let you know some stories.
Yeah. Well, I think Jamie, the real thing is, like, I just noticed in the comments, like Martin Burns said, his phones have stopped ringing. You know, with the inflation in Australia is really high, because my daughter's over there, and it's just ridiculous. You know, the cost of living for them, and so for those guys where the phone stopped ringing, you know, talking to you about other ways to add value, you know, it might be what they need to do, you know.
Yep, add value. Yep.
Add value. Add value.
And I'm not saying, like, hey, if the bottom fell out and nobody's buying house washes, I'm not saying that, you know, I would do what I would have to do to make sure we pay the bills. I mean, that's the bottom line. Like, we have to pay the bills is what we do. That's what we do. But
that's it.
I think
how many trucks are you running, Jamie?
2.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I've always been on the fence back and forth, like, where do I want to go? And I'm kind of comfortable in that spot, honestly.
I think 2's got that. It's got the insurance value, you know, and you've got systems and processes. All the systems and processes, because you scale to 2, all the systems and processes in place. If you ever wanted to go to 3, it's not that difficult, you know, because it's just add another truck, because you've already added a truck, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, but you don't want to be so busy that you don't get family time either. So then you have to put a manager on to manage it, which is 50, 60, 70,000 a year. So that's that much more work you've got to find, you know, isn't it? Plus the cost of the extra truck. And so it changes, the dimension of the business changes, you know, a lot.
It does, and we even talked about, man, trying to. We've had weeks where we scaled back and tried to work 4-day work weeks.
Yes.
Actually, we actually tested it, and the revenue didn't change, honestly.
Well, you're doing four 10-hour days, yeah.
Yeah, but we don't. We don't really go by hours, but yeah, we go by the number we have to hit. But yeah,
but 4 trucker days, like work real hard and.
Yeah, but the problem is you can't always do that because it gets crazy and there's not enough time.
Yeah,
and we don't work weekends unless it's a commercial job. I will not book a residential customer on the weekend. I won't. I just won't do it.
How do you attract a commercial? So, what percentage of your business is commercial, and then how do you attract commercial?
So commercial, we're still a primary residential. We do a lot. We do some big commercial jobs though. I want to attract more. I mean, a commercial can be amazing. And that's relationships, getting out there and meeting people, meeting property managers, business owners, getting out there with them, and talking to them, shaking a hand and letting them know who you are. But commercial can really be amazing.
Yeah. Ben, you can put some of those comments up, buddy.
Be some tough jobs, man. I mean, it could be some tough jobs.
Yep.
I kind of look at commercial. For me, I don't want to say, but it make this sound. I don't want it to sound like I have anything against like new guys or cheaper guys, but the guys that are out here in my market that are bidding houses really cheap and all that, right? The big commercial jobs they're afraid of, right? They pull up, we did a 10-story building last year. They pull up to that, right? They're afraid, and if they're not afraid, they're going to price it way out of what it's supposed to be because they're looking at it.
They've got no idea.
They're not looking at what it really is. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal. Honestly, it's not. It's really not that big of a deal.
But you have to have done it to know that, right?
Yeah. So I love those jobs, man. So my target actually, honestly, is those 3 to 5 story square stucco 25,000 square foot buildings. They're money.
Nice.
That's what I'm targeting.
Are you getting those on referral, or are you running outbound campaigns to chase them?
No, referrals, property manager referrals. We are starting some campaigns though, some outboarding calls and stuff for.
Right.
So we're looking to grow more in that sector. Honestly, we do a lot of schools. Yeah. So we do a lot of schools.
Right. Schools are a good business. Yeah.
Window cleaning. Oh my God. Oh. So easy, man.
Yes.
And look, I came in as the cheap guy, you would think, because these schools had traditional window cleaners, doing these 5-story schools.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
So when I step into the scene and I'm like, damn, this is one day. All right, boom, here's your price. You're like, holy crap. Because the traditional guys there for weeks.
He's 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, 8 days, 10 days.
Ladders, So we got into some schools. They started pushing us around. So we do quite a few schools now. And I love doing windows on commercial buildings. So I would do that. Residential, I mean,
all day long.
We do it if we have to.
No, all day long.
Yeah.
No insect screens, no nothing. Just
and you don't have that customer that's like just a little drip.
Yeah. It's a contrast effect. Property managers just want the contrast effect. Dirty to clean. I'll tell you what I did when I had my rigs in Sydney. I had a Ford Transit van, long wheelbase, high top, with a lift gate on the back. And this is before LED lights were super cool. I've got a product now called Hype Light, which is Ben's going to be testing for extending daylight. But back then I had one of these. I had a generator, but I put it out on the lift gate, right, because the fumes could kill you, So, and then I had on a trolley, a standard trolley, I had one of those floodlights that light up monuments, But this particular floodlight, the generator was only 1,800 watts, but the floodlight would take 20 minutes to warm up. It was not a kickstart floodlight. It was just a slow, got warmer and warmer. And I had my truck working during the day on normal work, and then I had these 2 guys from Malta. Sometimes you see him on commenting. Jeff Lamaletti. He was the leader of the pack, and so he would come in and pick up the truck at 7 o'clock at night and work through till midnight or 1 in the morning. And we would go and do the business parks because there were no trucks driving through, no cars in the car park. So you had absolute clean access to the glass, and then this great big floodlight that just lit, 3-4 stories, 300 feet wide, and then they'd just move the truck and move the light every 200 or 300 feet, and then just boom, fly along. So that's and the other one which we used to do we do this car yard because we had such big money on it, and we'd do it on a Sunday morning at 4 a.m. where there's no traffic because it was on the side of the road like car yards normally are, and so we had to put the cones out and everything, but we didn't pay for the cone. We made it look like we'd paid, but we didn't pay the council, and so we had the spotting guy with the little light, and we had the cones because I used to be a traffic engineer draftsman, so I actually knew all the stuff. But we'd do that because we got such ridiculous money. We could do the whole thing in 3 or 4 hours, and then but the price was like 10-12 hours work, so we never let anybody see us do the job because it was just crazy money.
Crazy money.
They would never pay it if they knew how short a time we could do it in.
I know.
And that's one where we actually did water fed on the inside of that occasionally, and with a wet dry vac. That's the first time I used a wet dry vac on the inside because it was concrete floor.
Okay.
So we could go in at 6 or 7 at night, when they closed, and then we'd use water fed because they had those stainless cross pieces with the circles. Do you know those ones where they hold the glass in place?
Yep.
With structure, and then trying to squeegee around.
Horrible.
Oh, that'll slow you down. So I got the water fed on the inside there, and then just sucked it up by morning. It was dry enough for them. Oh, happy.
Yeah, I don't miss interior. That's for sure. That's one thing I do not miss.
No.
We still do it occasionally. We do it occasionally. I mean,
you got to do what you got to do, right?
Yeah, we have some customers. We got to do the interior. I mean, they're good customers. We have to do it. If not, somebody else is going to do it. Then that other person's probably going to either be a power washer or start power washing. So it's kind of like you got to
right.
Do you ever lose jobs if somebody's wanting interior window cleaning and they're like, I want it all done with one company?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, we do. So
I've thought of approaching that way with just exterior window cleaning, but I've just never known how to approach it.
Yeah. I mean, we don't lose. Quite honestly, we don't lose that many as you would think anymore. I think it's just a timing now, man. Where inside people are like either their house cleaner can they spray and wipe the inside, or they do it. It's not to them. It's not a big deal. I grew up doing windows. So I used to deal with storm windows and lead window weights and in the walls and all that crap. So they were different windows. Like they had to have a window cleaner do them because it was a lot of work taking the storms out and all that stuff. But now the glass is just they just do it themselves. Hopefully.
Yeah.
That's what we try to
do. Hopefully that's what we do you have bug screens where you are? Like insect screens?
We do. Yep, we do.
How do you get them out? Because for water fed, you've got to, for anything, you've either got to take the window out from the inside and clean it.
I know a guy that was spraying through them. I'm serious. No.
Bless him.
Yeah. So a lot of the houses here don't have screens anymore. They're a lot of them are either inside or they don't have. Yep. They like the look. They like the look of not having a screen.
Great. See.
We do push in response a bit. We'll kind of give them the nudge, like, hey, if you have your screens out, here's the price to clean exterior windows. If the screens are in, here's the price.
Yeah.
So here's your menu. Decide what you want to do. So we try to push them in that direction. If it was me, man, if I was on the jobs, it would be no big deal. I can take out screens, put them in with my eyes closed, and like seconds. I mean, it's easy for me, man. But for guys out there, it's just like it's a little bit different.
Yeah. So I'm going to segue back to the PWMCA. How many have you run a survey on your guys? Like this is 250 of the total membership, 250 turn up in an event. And then what percentage of the guys do you think are running, 1 truck, 2 truck, 3 trucks like that?
I haven't done that, but that's actually a good idea. That would be a good idea. I would think a high percentage is 1 truck.
Right.
A high percentage is 1 truck. A high percentage of this industry is 1 truck owner operators.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
So what are the downsides of one truck? Because we talked about that offline, but we want to, I think it's a good conversation to have is that, the upsides and the downsides, because you've been one truck, right?
Absolutely. Yep. I think the upsides are one truck is, owner operator can go out and they can make a hell of a living. They really can. They can go out and make a great living, man. Doing something that's pretty fun to do, honestly. The downside is, the future, and not just the future. It could be tomorrow. Like how about if you slip even at home or anything happens and you break your leg or anything happens to you?
Yeah.
Where does that put you? That's kind of it.
Well, that's the thing. One of the guys who works for me is Jimmy Jones, and he only works part-time now, but he's been 8-year reach it customer, does everything water fed, but there was one window on one job above a garage or something, and he climbed on the roof to do this one window, and he slipped and fell off the roof and then broke both his wrists.
Wow.
And then I heard about that and said, hey, you can jump on the phones while your wrists are healing, and he damaged other parts of them as well. But two broken wrists, you're pretty screwed, right?
Yes, you are.
I don't want to know what he couldn't do himself, but anyway, so I said, you can jump on the phones if you want, just make some commission, just, but keep things going, so he still looks after some customers, for us now, but he's back on the tools and everything. He's healed everything and all that. But you just go, it really, like, your whole income can stop dead, right?
Yeah. So I actually did a post in my personal page a couple of days ago about that, asking, do you own a business or do you own a job? That was basically the question. And it just came down to, if you own, are you the sole person making money in your company? And if you can't make the money, are you making money? If the answer is you're not making money, then you own a job. I mean, that's really, when you can't have the freedom,
and I think that the transition from I don't know if you can it's kind of jargon, but the transition from individual thinking to group thinking. Group is when you can run a team, you can lead people and all that. But when you have never run a team or you've never led people or whatever, then you have it mostly as individual thinking. I can do everything. I can do everything. I'll do everything. I do everything. That's the individual mode. And everybody starts it as an individual, so there's nothing wrong with it. But you can't get to group think with one truck. You can't just have I've got an offsider or I've got a co-worker or whatever. That's not group think. You really can only get the group when you have 2 trucks with 4 people, let's say, isn't it? Where your brain changes and you start managing people rather than
absolutely
whatever.
And there's nothing wrong with. I mean, there's nothing wrong with owner operator by themselves working.
Hell no.
They can make a lot of money. But you just got to think, man. You just got to think about the future and think about putting some.
Because if you have, I'll extend it. So if you have 2 trucks and you run one truck and you have another guy running another truck, and something goes wrong with you, whatever you've learned about running that other guy, you can put another guy in your truck if you're out and off, right?
Yep.
Isn't it? But if you've never run another guy in another truck, you can't find somebody and say, run my truck, because you don't have systems and processes or the evolution of the mind for that, Yep.
Even if it's one truck and a helper, and you have the helper out there and you're trading, and he knows, he can, if you stepped away, he can take over.
Yes.
And you bring a helper in for him at that point. But it's hard, man. I mean, guys, it's a lot. Everybody wants to. I know people want to do everything, and it becomes a lot. I mean, it's hard to grow if you're doing everything. It really is. If you're the one doing everything, it's really hard to grow. And some guys love watching, man. They love being out in the field. They don't want to do anything else, but they want to grow, and they're trying to figure out how to do it. Like, well, if you love it that much, man, hire a manager, hire somebody to be that person, and you can stay out there with the guys. But
and I know Peter Thomas. He's my buddy down in Perth. He has just semi-retired, but so he built a new truck, like a van, and then the young guy who's been working with him, I don't know, would he be 20, 21 or something, but he's been working with him for 3 or 4 years. So now that guy runs his truck, he probably, he told me I can ring him and he'll tell me what the deal is. But he has a deal, with that, where he supplies the truck and the equipment and the customer base and everything, and the other guy has got the business, he's going to take over forever,
He's happy.
He's happy, and Pete's happy because
That's the whole thing. It comes down to, man, is being happy. Like, if you're happy what you're doing, then that's all that really matters. It really does. And
as long as you've thought it through, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about, it's like talking about insurance. I did a couple of years selling insurance. I just go, can we just build a little bubble, right? We don't like to think about death. We don't like to talk about death. But there is you now and there's you later in the event of an accident. There's you now and you later in the event of death, right? So we just need, just for 1 hour, we just talk about you later. Oh, Peter Thomas is here. Yeah, happy. See? And you've just got to think, you're just going to take a little time to think about the future and say, what could happen? Not what do I want to happen? Not, but just what could happen. And then do I have a contingency? Do I have a plan? And then you don't worry. You just have a plan. But you've got to stop long enough to think. You don't just go and put your head in the sand and say, nothing will happen to me. Because shit happens, bro.
Oh, it does. Yeah, absolutely. I know. I have plenty of friends, man, in this industry that shit has happened to. And, they never thought it would happen. They never thought that would happen. Anything would happen, but it does. So,
well, you saw Augie the other day. Augie chopped his thumb open,
Yeah.
I mean, Augie's already broken his neck twice and his back once, but if he chops his thumb open, he's off the tools for however long it is,
Yep.
Like, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be all broken up to be off the tools. And you see some guys, they just run the pressure washer wand across their foot and stuff like that. And they're not newbies that do that, right?
No, it's crazy, right? Think about it. And some guys just they tell me, I talk to different people all the time, like, I just like being out there washing, and I'm like, yeah, I know, I get it. I love washing myself. I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
So it was a struggle for me. It was a struggle for me to like not be on the truck. And I still go out. Like, I'm not the one person say, I won't go out and wash anything. I enjoy going out, so I'll go out and wash myself with them. Yeah. I don't have a problem doing it. But I realize, like,
there are no rules.
I need to do other stuff. I need to do other things in the business, not be out washing houses. Although it is, it is really fun, but
it's very satisfying, right?
It is satisfying. Yeah, you go to like a house that's just completely green and dirty, and they leave and it's beautiful. It's really satisfying.
That's why I reckon that there's so many super smart people in washing and window cleaning, and you go like, dude, you're like, what are you so smart and you're doing this for a living? But once they taste the money and the lifestyle and the customer satisfaction direct at them, especially if you've been in management, where you get all you're doing is managing other people's, emotions and interactions and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden you get out there in front of a customer and then they come out and go, wow. And, it's so satisfying. And so you get really, really smart people who just wash.
Yep, you do. Jason said he's working himself out of the truck into a sales car soon. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's going to be great. What kind of sales card, Jason? Are you going to get a Prius or a little bubble car?
Little bubble car?
Or a big truck?
Big truck. I just bought a Tesla for an estimate car. I tried a
Tesla truck, Cybertruck?
No, I got a Tesla. This is a regular Tesla 3. That's what I use for. I just bought it. That's my estimate car, man. It's like, and I got.
He's going to get the little Kia.
That's all he needs. There you go. Save some gas, ride around town, get it wrapped up. Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, get it wrapped up and away you go.
Wave to people. That's the hardest part. The hardest part is stepping away from that, though. It is. And it took me, like, even when I had a habit where I would go out and just check on the guys and stuff a lot. And it got to the point where I'm like, all right, well, I got to change what I'm going to do is my mindset. Because I would go out there and I would just take the wand off of them. So then I started wearing non-bleach proof clothes, like wearing regular cotton stuff. Like,
right.
So now if I go out there, I'm like, I got to stay far away. I'm like, stay away from me today. Because if not, I would pull up, man. I'd be like, let me see. I'm going to try something. And they'd be pissed because they'd be like, oh,
yeah,
he ain't giving a wand back. Yeah. They're like, he's not giving it back. So yeah, it is fun though, man. I got to say, it's a fun industry. Some awesome people in this industry. There is,
right.
It's pretty cool.
So if you go, I'm going to go back to the PWMCA and the Brotherhood, right? That you've got there. Who has had the most amazing story from never having been to an org. I'm trying to see if there's a story sitting there of somebody who'd never been to an org, joined PWMCA, got involved in it in the correct way, not in a transactional way, like what's in it for me, but a give and take, way, and then ends up with a story.
There's a lot of them, man. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. But I know off the top of my head, I would say, Kevin Paul. He's also a really good friend, though. We talk every day. But yeah, man, he joined a few years ago in Myrtle Beach, and he took that mindset where he wants to grow a company, and he's got himself a shop this year. He's got employees. He's finally stepping back and letting them do her thing. There's Flip. Flip's another one. Flip's went to his first.
Yeah, Flip's one of my favorites.
Yeah, Flip is awesome, man. It's just
Flip. We've got to have you on Service Six Sigma because I could just listen to Flip all day long. He's got such
Flip
nice
and Mrs. Flip spoke.
Mrs. Flip.
They spoke this year at the event, and
great.
It was awesome, man. Like people really got a lot out of it. They did, and that's one of my. You know what? That's one of my biggest reliefs of teaming up with these other people doing this convention next year or this year. Is I don't have to any longer. So when we first started doing shows, I was doing shows like they were more technical shows. They were more, let's talk about washing. Let's talk about, window cleaning. Let's talk about this type of stuff. But then I realized at my own shows, man, a lot of these guys, they don't have a clue what the hell they're doing business-wise. They need help.
Right.
So then we started stepping out of my lane and starting to bring people in to do like all business stuff. Now we have the opportunity to step back and do what we love to do. And so our tracks at the event are going to be more that technical stuff where we don't have to worry about the business stuff. We have other people there, their tracks going to be focused on business stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that, man, because Flip and Mrs. Flip, man, like them speaking was awesome. I mean, and having contractors speak is awesome.
Right.
We
were talking to somebody the other day, and it's like, you go to some of the conventions and then all the speakers are actually a sales pitch. They get a 1 hour motivational, get you all hyped up, sing whatever. And then now, hit me up for 1,000 a month or 500 a month or 100 a month, and so basically that whole motivation turned into a sales pitch. And then the guy's money is the people who went there for the trade show, because all the money's gone to the speakers. But you've never done that, have you?
No, but I mean, you have speakers that come in that sometimes you don't think they're just to sell, but you don't know until it happens.
Yeah.
We try to be really, and we've been really lucky. We try to say, hey, we want you. We understand you have something to sell, man, but we want you to give value and give these attendees some actual items to go back to home and be able to work in a company. And this year, man, it was like we had some amazing speakers this year. I mean, so there are some amazing speakers, but I was at the point where I'm just like, I'm telling people, man, I don't care if it's just contract, if it's just Gene O'Neill, me, David Flipping, these people speaking, I'm happy with that.
Stories.
I'm happy with that. Like, I don't need to hear every speaker. Like, I don't need to hear how every speaker grew up, had it overcome living on the streets. Like, I understand that everybody has a story that's awesome. It is.
Yeah.
We've heard it. We've heard so many of them, and people just get worn out, man. They're like, we need to learn something to help us. That's what we want to learn.
Dude, you don't even know it's true, by the way. It's because it's a standard.
It's a standard.
How to put a pitch together. Like, tell some sad story about yourself, and I nearly, put a gun to my throat, and there I was. Like, even Zig Ziglar's been doing it back in the Zig Ziglar days,
Yep. But we've been lucky, man. We've had some awesome speakers, and we've had some awesome attendees, man. I'll be quite transparent. I mean, I've had attendees and some vendors that do not like this idea. They do not like this.
Right.
They're like, no, dude, this is something. I've had vendors tell me this is their favorite show. Even the big shows are like, this is our favorite show. Like, we don't think it's a good idea. And I'm like, look, let's try it this year. Let's see what happens. I think.
Yeah.
I honestly think we can still keep that same brotherhood, that family atmosphere we try to bring to our show, even though it's going to be a big show.
Oh, I see. You mean the combination thing?
Yeah,
you know,
they're kind of worried.
Yeah.
They're kind of worried we're going to lose that, man. They're worried that we're going to lose that. And
I tell you one thing you could do, Jamie, is you could give everybody that's in your network, send them all a T-shirt, like a shirt that brands them, so that everybody knows these are the PWMCA people. If they want to be known as a PWMCA person,
Yep.
So you can see the other guys that are washers or whatever because that's the only thing you'd think is there's all these people and you don't know who to talk to because you don't know whether they're washers or not. So maybe if they all got a shirt to wear or whatever,
Yep.
they have to be one that dries overnight in a hotel room, Yep.
Yeah, I agree. And we've talked about that. We're going to have, we'll have our own PWMCA social, so that, and I'm telling the guys, look, you're going to have the opportunity to like go spread out and meet new people and hear some new things. But then you'll have that spot where you come back home, inside the convention center.
Yes.
And be with your family. But you can. So I think it's going to be really good, man. I do. I think it's good, and we'll see. I mean, we're going to try it this year. It's a new experience for everybody involved. But I think if everybody's doing it for the right reasons, it could be awesome.
Yes.
It could be awesome.
Yes. And there's always pain and change. So there's always, but change opens new ideas. And the first time we didn't quite get it right, but the second time, if it didn't get right, but maybe it's right first time, isn't it? It's just. But if you don't step out, I mean, the biggest thing, you're right, is that all these guys have got too many events that they want to go to. So if all the events are together in one, or at least several events in one, then they can get the exposure, And the cross-pollination, they've got no idea that there might be some amazing people they meet who came because they wanted to go to ResponsiCon or whatever,
Jason Thomas is commenting. He's been a member for a long time. He's an awesome dude. He's a long-time member.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jason worked with us for 2 years as our warehouse manager when he was he left Window Genie and was on a Australian trade for 2 years. So we ran our warehouse out of his property.
No, you're talking about Jason.
Jason Hatch.
Oh,
Hatch.
Jason Hatch. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Jason Thomas.
This is Jason Thomas.
Yeah.
But back to what you just said, man, about the people going to events. I can tell you for 100% facts. I talk to a lot of people, man. There are people, like there's so many events that go on, right? There are people that are like, hey, we can't go to all these events, right? But here's the problem. They're like, well, I really don't want to go to this event. I want to go to this event, but if I go to this event and I can't make it to Jamie's event, and then me and Jamie are friends, so then Jamie's going to get pissed off at me, which right, it's ridiculous, right? But this is the mindset that people do have. So you know what they do? They don't go to any. They just don't go to an event. They're like,
oh, so they don't piss anybody off.
They don't piss anybody off. Like, you know what I mean? It's like that's crazy.
Wow.
I don't think any of these events, man, should be. I mean, there shouldn't be any competition with events or nothing, man. Like, all the events should have their own thing. Like the huge convention to me is like still the ultimate event. Like, I love the huge convention. I was banned from it originally because I don't know why. I guess the old ownership thought I was trying to compete against them. And I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to compete against you. I think we should work together, man. I'll promote your show, you promote my show. And that's the kind of relationship we have with the new the new
the new guys
that relationship where hey man, you guys come to my show, speak, you can have a booth, whatever you want to do. That's the huge convention, man. It's like that's what it is.
Yeah,
I would never want to have the huge convention. Like I would not want that headache. Like
no,
I would not want that headache.
No.
I love the shows we have now, man. I love the shows we have now. Every year I see the same people. They come out. It's like a family reunion. So Chris Martinez, you know Chris Martinez, man.
Yeah.
He came to me 2 years ago because he spoke it 2 years ago, and he came to me at the social. We were having a karaoke social, and he was like, Jamie, you can't sell this. Like he goes, I don't know what you did here. You can't sell this. Well, you can't put this in a bottle and sell it. And then he went home and did a video, and he was like, I got it. He goes, it's a family reunion. He's like, that's the feeling I had. And that's what it was. And that's what it is every year. It's like a family reunion.
Yeah. How do the new guys, like if somebody gets inspired by this and then says, okay, I'm going to go to PWMCA, how is it, because, if I don't speak out of school, I always found IWCA was just such a clique. You know, it is genuinely, it was, I can't say now, but it was just genuinely an old boys club, you know, like, and it was breaking in. You had to break into it. But if you get new guys that join now and come to PWMCA, how do they get like brought up into the brotherhood?
Oh no! As soon as we become a member, man, we don't like they're just in the brotherhood. That's kind of we don't have cliques like.
Yeah,
we pretty much are open, man. Where we want to see everybody that's there truly wants to see each other succeed, and that's what it comes down.
That's it. So there goes the point. It's not there for certain people to win. It's there for everybody to win.
Yeah, it's there for everybody to win. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for everybody to win.
Yeah,
and we do meetings. We actually get back to our meetings. We haven't had one in about a month and a half, so we got to get back on track. I actually got to get some. I got to let people take some responsibility. They want to do it, man, and they were like, give us some stuff to do and let them handle that because I try to handle too much. But even the meetings that we do, like they're based on members coming to us and saying, hey, I need to learn how to clean a window, right? Doing it like this, and like, well, I don't know how to do that, so. Let's find somebody that does. Okay, we got this guy Perry. Boom, he can do it. Then we bring Perry in, and then we do the meeting, and that's a Zoom training. So we do that with all the subjects, like any subject that they're trying to figure out, because we don't know.
Yeah,
nobody knows everything.
Now that I'm semi-retired, I've actually got time to do stuff. You know.
I know, right? A lot different now, huh?
Before it was just like I was 16 hours a day, 18 hours a day on call, you know, like it was just crazy. And then you get stressed and then you get character shifts. You've been through this, I'm sure. You know, you get those character shifts because you're tired or you can't keep up with the amount of, your expectations of yourself or the workload that you've got on. And then all of a sudden you're not the same person. You're not that friendly.
Yep, absolutely. I guess
then you need people to understand. Yeah.
I'm semi-retired, I guess. Maybe not. I'm not semi-retired. I don't know. I get bored a lot though now. Like I do.
I've got loads going on.
I got days where I'm like, estimates are all done, and like, because I don't really handle. I'm just. I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know. I get bored. So I mean, I started the Christmas light company last year. That was fun. So that's been a good venture.
So for installing, or you selling?
No, installing Christmas lights. Yeah. So I started a company this year. I've been doing Christmas lights. I mean, I've been doing Christmas lights since 2018, installing Christmas for customers. But it's always just been under our pressure washing company, and it's always been kind of like, not pushing it.
Right.
So this year I went and decided to, open up, and we opened up Christmas light company. I had my dog. Made into a mascot and just had some fun with it.
Fantastic.
Didn't spend any money on marketing at all. Just did a lot of community marketing. And first year, we crushed it the first year. I mean, crazy.
And did the boys like it?
Yes. I brought different guys into it. I have
okay.
I have one of our guys, the main guy, is a roofer.
Yeah,
so he comes in and does lights.
Oh, that's helpful.
Another guy's a contractor, so it's because it's a different ball game. Like Christmas lights on a roof is a lot different than washing roofs. And you walk on a roof, and it's a lot different than because you're working on the edge, the gutter line the whole time. So it's a whole different animal.
Yeah,
but it's fun. Christmas lights are fun, man. There's a lot of money in Christmas lights.
Yeah, there's a lot of money in Christmas.
There's a lot of money in Christmas lights. Yeah. So. We'll see, man. What do you? How do you reckon? If the shit hits the fan, with the global stuff that's going on, what do you reckon? Do you reckon it's gonna suffer, or are the people that can buy Christmas lights are just not going to be affected? They already own their homes. They've already got their money in the bank. I think for the most part, people that buy Christmas lights aren't going to be affected.
Aren't going to be affected
for the most part.
Yeah. So that's a good thing to think about.
It's a luxury. It's a luxury.
Yeah.
It also brings happiness. Right? It also brings happiness.
Especially if you have a street that does it, isn't it? I watch some of those videos where people drive down the street and the whole street is lit up and everybody's walking the street and driving the street.
Yep. And lights just bring happiness, man. They do. Like people, People look they look forward to it. So yeah, I think would we lose some maybe the cookie cutter houses that we do on lights? Yeah, we would.
Yeah.
The big jobs that I hate doing.
No,
not
gonna lose them.
Yeah. I actually like the cutter houses for Christmas lights, man. Honestly, there's some really good money in those houses.
Right.
You know, without being on a crazy roofs, but you know, it is a luxury service. You don't need it, so it is.
Yeah.
But it brings.
So how? But are you using? Did you get a separate truck, or are you using the Greenway trucks for it?
No. I got a whole separate company. Yeah.
Wow.
Separate. Yeah, everything's separate. That's a completely separate company. I don't know if you.
And what does it do? What does it do during the year? Oh, goodness me!
That's the truck right there.
Look at that. That's classic.
So during the year. So I mean, I still use it, man. I'll drive that. That's the sales truck. I'll drive that sucker around.
Right. So you just drive that around, and it's basically getting awareness up all year round. And when Christmas light time comes, somebody goes, "I'm going to ring that guy," you know, or whatever. Do you find people pre-booking you like this time of year, starting to think, "I'm going to make sure I've got that guy"?
Well, yeah. So we'll do something. You know, in Christmas, they do a Christmas in July thing now. You know, they do. We'll do a big push, sign up, you know, get signed up, and you give them a discount. Obviously, it's an early bird discount.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is getting them to install early. So trying to get everybody to install like early, like, you know, October.
Yeah.
Because then you have to leave for new customers.
Yes. The
key is to put.
And it doesn't cost them anything to have them on. They don't have to turn them on if they don't want to, but you've just got them on.
Yep, they're not turning. I have a flower shop right now that still has them on. They actually pay us to change bulbs of different colors. So, whatever. So we're gonna.
And what about you know, weddings and bar mitzvahs and parties and stuff like that?
Wasn't something I really. There is a model out there for us. That's a business, a really good business.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me, man. Like even when I named my company, you know, Cherry Hill Christmas Lights, and I did the dog. People were like, "Oh, that's gonna be stuck on Christmas lights." I'm like, dude, it's fun to me. I want to do something fun. Christmas lights are fun. I'm not really interested in other stuff. And they're like, how about in the future? I'm like, well, if the future, I own some other domains, I own some stuff. So I mean, I can have Cherry Hill Lights, and then Cherry Hill Christmas Lights can just be. It's not really that big of a deal. But no, Christmas lights are fun, man. They are.
Because Augie and JC and Justin, they all went to the big you know, whatever it is, light thing, you know, where they had
Transworld.
Yeah, Transworld, yeah. And then they had all the bloody Halloween stuff, you know.
Well, I'm going to Transworld's Halloween haunt show next week. It's in Pennsylvania.
Oh.
So it's all Halloween for the people who put on the big haunts and stuff. But to me, it was just about fun, man. Like I didn't.
Good on you.
Like I said, I didn't spend $1 on marketing, and we did a lot of money. I don't talk numbers in these things. I never have.
No.
So,
I always, by the way, but I always think the customer can be watching this and they don't.
Well, no, not just that. I'm not the kind of guy I don't put checks on Facebook. And all that. I can tell you, man, the Christmas lights you make a lot of money doing them, and like I said, we did it with zero marketing. We just got into the community and said, hey, this is us, man. This is what we're gonna do. We did some stuff. We did some free jobs. We started in September doing all pink lights for breast cancer awareness. We did a lady's house.
Yeah. Nice.
It's fun.
See, that's clever.
It's fun.
And then what about is there a competition in Cherry Hill for the best looking street or anything like that?
They do. They do have competitions. So I don't know. I never really got involved too much with them.
Right, because my thinking is, if you got the Formula One, you've got the world champion driver, but you also have the world champion manufacturer. You know what I mean? So it would be interesting if you could team up with the richest street in town and say, "Hey, I'm going to be your guy," and
we're just going to go crazy. We're going to go crazy.
We're going to win. We're going to win, but I'm going to be your man, right? But you got a crazy idea. I'm going to make sure it all happens, and we're all work together as a street,
and just do it.
Could be quite fun.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea.
especially if it's the people with no limit to the amount of money. They're also about how much fun can I have about this, and they can compete against each other. But you're saying whatever it is, my lips are sealed. I won't tell the neighbor what you're doing.
What you're doing. We actually have lights up still. Also, we have lights up at the Animal Welfare Association. We did that for free. They're still up. They did like a blue. They did a blue and white combination because their colors are blue. And we went to take them down, and they were like, "How much would you charge us to leave them up a little bit longer? Because it's not really Christmas; it's blue and white." And I'm like, "Well, we didn't charge you to put them up, so I mean, we're not going to charge you anything, whatever." So
yeah.
We are maintenance them for them, and we'll go by every once in a while and check on them to make sure everything's good. But
you could also go to the council maybe and go, why don't you put up some money for the best street and the best house, or something, or even the best street, just to get the whole thing going, and then they can go to them and say, you go to the biggest businesses in town, the historical businesses, and say they should chip in and get some sponsorship on it on the best street in town, and then there's some real money to be thrown around, for the competition, because then the homeowners who have got unlimited disposable money could put in more money to try and get some of their money back.
They're trying to put all kinds of money in.
God, it could be ridiculous.
Oh man,
that's where you'd end up with curb lights as well, right?
Yeah, all kinds. You have lights everywhere,
and down the center of the road. Yeah.
Friggin' town of lights, man. Town of lights.
Oh my. And archways, you could have archways over the road, if it's a cul-de-sac or something like that, so that
pulling in. Yeah, there are some houses, man. There's some houses that do some really crazy stuff. There is.
Right.
That's mostly guys, like people that have been doing it for years, and that's just what they do. And they actually start like in the summertime putting their stuff out.
Right. Yeah.
Holy crap, man.
Yeah, some of them are just fully animated scenes, right? Where they've got basically programmed lights that make it look like Santa's pulling a sleigh through their yard, and
I used to do
stuff like that.
I used to do a lot of lights in my house, a lot. That's before I even installed lights. I've been doing it for like years since my kids were small, like all kinds of lights, music, and 2 years ago I got into projector mapping, and projector mapping is freaking insane. So now. I have a projector, a short throw projector outside of my house that I can do it. It's insane. It is friggin' insane what you can do with it.
How many lumens are those projectors that can do that?
Oh man, that's a lot. That one. I don't even have it up here. It's a lot. It's a short throw.
Right.
It's a short throw. 1080. I don't know how many lumens it is though. They had the laser ones now too.
Yeah, I've seen the laser ones. Yeah.
They're about $1,500, $1,600 for if you want to do your house, you want to have like a really good show at your house. That's about what you're at.
Yeah. And can you put 30,000 lumens?
30,000.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that may be about what it is.
But how do you cool it?
I built a box for mine because it goes up on the outside on a stand, and then we have a fan, like computer fans.
Yeah.
Pulling the heat out of it. But you gotta remember,
you're not running water. You're not running water cooling.
No, it's out there in the wintertime too, so it's cold outside.
Oh, true. My Christmas is summertime.
Yeah, it's cold.
It's like 100 degrees down under when Christmas comes around.
But the shows you can do are insane, man. I'm talking about like I had all kinds of it's insane.
Have you painted the wall because there's a particular paint that's got a reflective. It's the proper, surface.
My wife hates it. I have so in the wintertime I have no windows in the front of my house. They're all covered with like projector screening material.
Yeah.
She hates it.
That's
no pretty windows.
I love it. You are.
That's the way it works.
Well,
you have
a good example.
Windows up, but it's fun. We did toy drives here, man. So we had Santa. We had the Grinch here. People were taking pictures with them if they bought a toy for to give to the kids, and so it's fun.
Well, see, that's the thing, isn't it? But the thing I'm getting is just because you said I'm just doing it because it's fun. But if you really want to have fun, it sounds like you can have an unlimited amount of fun, which is great as a as a juxtaposition against, being an exterior surfaces cleaning person,
Yep.
Like once a year you get to have fun being a business person.
Yep, just have a bunch of fun.
Creativity, open-mindedness, laughs and smiles.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I know guys. I mean, there's plenty of guys in that industry. They go out dressed up and hang lights, dressed up, and and kids just love it and stuff. So it is. They make it really fun. There's also guys out there that do like mega lights. Like I don't. That's stressful lights. So they do like
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of those Christmas trees, some of the guys who put the lights on those mega Christmas trees, 60-foot trees and stuff like that, and you go, no.
Dude, even like fun. 30, even like like a 30-foot tree costs so much to put lights on. Like people have no idea.
Right.
So that's why we learned like really fast to pre-qualify Christmas light leads, because they're like, oh yeah, we want to get lights on our big evergreen out front. Yeah, it's no big deal. And then you go there and you're like, all right, that's like $5,500. They're like, what? And they're like, you see this thing? How many lights is it going to take?
How many feet of lights are on, let's say, on a 30-foot tree, evergreen Christmas?
So it would go by how many times how you wrapped it, how people wrapped it.
Right.
So it usually goes by bulb count and what they use. So a lot of guys are using bigger bulbs like C6s. Some guys even use C9s on big trees.
Right.
We started doing the C6s, but I like doing gutter lines. I love doing gutter lines. They're kind of like the easy money. Gutter lines and roof lines are the easy money. And some bushes. We did the same thing we do in our wash company. We started with responsible with that. So we were able to put packages in, and we made them like they were funny. I got that from JC. We did some funny names for the packages, like the Grinch and the Elf and all this cool stuff. So nobody wants to buy the Grinch package. You know what I mean? You send them to them the Grinch package. You're like, honey, you want me to get the Grinch package? You're like, what? But I try to like push them more.
Oh, that's great.
More towards that, the house and some bushes. Like, try to push them away from the real big stuff.
How many? What is it? Are all the bulbs running 110 volt, or are they all 12 volt?
No, they're all. You can run. They're all LEDs, so you can run a crap load of bulbs, man. Like, you can do a big roof line on one strand.
But are they 12 volt, or are they mains power?
No, they're main power. Yeah. You plug them right in.
Wow. Oh, so endless. You could have an endless number of bulbs.
Yeah, I won't say endless, but yeah, pretty much endless. I mean, there's some meters out there.
Yeah.
There's not really too many houses.
Depends on your cable. Depends on the cable thickness, the actual copper.
250 bulbs per circuit. But you can do so, and we're using 15-inch spacing. So I mean, that's kind of the norm now. 12-inch spacing and 15-inch spacing. Believe it or not, it's a big difference in bulb count.
Right.
But it's not a big difference when you look at the house.
Right. Because if you look at an LED screen, a lot of people maybe don't know that when they see an LED screen, there's a P number, P 2.5 or P5 or P10, and P10 is basically a 10 millimeter, in nearly half an inch, spacing between the actual bulbs, and then it says that the human mind can go back 10 meters, which is 33 feet, right? Let's go back 33 feet, and then the brain can't discern the pixelation from 10 meters. So if you wanted, I was going to put one in here, but for me to put one in here, it would need to be P 1.5, which is 1.5 millimeter spacing, which for you would be 1.5, 1/12, 1/18 of an inch between the bulbs, something like that. And then, but from 1.5 meters or 5 feet, the brain can't, so the camera wouldn't see the difference. It would look like a TV screen, like that.
It would look like a TV screen.
But the same for you is when you look at a house, the closer you get those bulbs together, when you go to China and you look at the, like in China at Christmas in our city, Ningbo, you can watch Santa pull a sleigh from building to 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 building all the way around the city. And it just goes from building to building to building to building, and then all the other things that happen. And their spacing, their LEDs are 11 feet apart, like one floor, maybe 10, because the Chinese are short, so maybe they got lower roof spacing, but 10, 11 feet apart, but from a distance, it just looks like a picture. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. Permanent lighting is the next hot thing. So it's starting to pick up steam now. Some issues with it. I mean, just like anything else, you have they have Govee lighting. I mean, I'm sure you heard of Govee before. So Govee is it's a consumer product, man. They have issues where the bulbs get weird and do their own. It's just, but we have companies that are installing them professionally here, and their whole sell is we're going to install these permanent lights for the same price that these guys are charging for Christmas lights. But the problem with that is they are what they are, man. You can buy them for a few $100 on Amazon. I mean,
do you install them, Jamie?
I refuse to install Govees.
Really? Yeah. We install permanent holiday lighting. It's called Oello, but we're about $30 a linear foot.
Well, yeah, we're going to be probably moving in. I don't know if we're going to be doing Minion or what we're doing. So we're going to step into permanent lighting, but it's going to be legit permanent lighting, not Govee. We've had customers call about Govee. Hey, I just bought these Govees. Or do you install Govees? Like, nah, this is not for us. I mean, hey, it's just not for us. That's all. I don't like the look of them, to be honest with you. The Govees have a different look. My buddy said it looks like a vape shop. This has it doesn't have that classic, it doesn't have that Christmas look. Where some of the other permanent lighting, they're going the tracks. You can get that standard, you still get that Christmas look. They're 12-inch spacing, and you get that look. Govee's just like lights that just shine down, just cones on the house.
And there's different mounting options for them too.
Yes.
That face out or
like on the wash. On the Olies.
Yeah, Oello has some different mounting options.
Yep. Yeah, we were looking at them. We're looking at some other manufacturers also. We're gonna have a training.
Have you looked into Jellyfish based out of Utah?
We have.
Yeah.
We have Josh Trees probably. He's gonna be back here in Jersey. I think I don't know what month, but he's gonna be out here doing another crystal light training, and we're probably gonna do some permanent light training also. We're gonna do some permanent light training because it's definitely the future. It is the future. Permanent lights are the future. I mean, think about it. You sell the customer on, hey, might be 4 times the amount of our Christmas lights, whatever it is, but you have it for every holiday. You don't have to worry about anything. So it's an investment.
And what about? Is it possible to drive them by solar?
I don't know. They don't use any energy anyway, though. Like they use
but that's the thing. Like you wouldn't know. But that's what's great. So solar, 2 square meters is like 20 square foot. No, that can't be that much. Anyway, not much. Like a meter is 3 feet. So a meter by 3 feet by 6 feet of solar panel can charge a 600 watt battery every day. Something like that. I mean, it's an interesting thought. It's got to cost you nothing to run, and we'll put in a little, power bank for you and a solar panel on, just 2 solar panels or 3 solar panels would be enough, And they don't even have to go on the roof, probably,
That'd be kind of a cool upsell.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be.
I mean, it's only having stories, and it gives you a point of difference as well, isn't it? They don't have to take it, but the conversation keeps them interested, and then the other guy doesn't talk that, and then they go, well, maybe you know more than they know, and
yeah. But no, it's definitely the future. I mean, there's no doubt it's the future. I mean, permanent lighting is the future. So that's why, I mean, guys, they want to resist it, man, but you can resist the future when you see it coming. If it's the same thing with the drone washing, man.
Yeah.
We're jumping on board with the drone washing. So I have domains for drone washing also. We're working on some stuff. We're diving into the drone washing. And I know a lot of guys that resist that. They're like, the hell with that. I'm like, dude, look, I'm telling you guys, not residential. Residential, I mean, it'd probably be a really long time before I had this place. But for commercial, there's going to become a time when you put that estimate into that property manager. You're like, oh yeah, here's my estimate. We got our lift on here and all that, and they're going to be like, lift. We're not looking for a lift. We're not looking for a lift. No. We want that drone that we don't have anybody that's going to fall off our building. You know. I didn't really like them until Lucid was at my event this year, and dude, I think it's pretty amazing. And it was really windy, so he had to do a demo. We would do outside demos, and it was really windy. And I go to the guy, I'm like, man, it's really windy out there. I mean, really, these trees were moving. Yeah. He's like, we weren't really watching this weather, but it's fine. The drone will be fine. Dude, this drone just stayed steady. The drone didn't move. I've seen a lot of complaints, guys watching the video saying, oh, look at all that overspray. They're spraying 10 miles away. My whole thing is that's the delivery. That has nothing to do with the drone. Yeah. So if I'm on a 50-foot lift and I'm washing the building, right, and I'm spraying
same, right?
8 gallons a minute with my nozzle, or if the drone's up there with the same exact nozzle, by the way, spraying 8 gallons a minute, it's really not the drone. It's how much value we're sending to the drone. I mean, because all that's doing is delivering a nozzle up. So it wasn't like this thing was going like all over the place spraying. This thing
if there's overspray, then it's not going to overspray, with the wind or anything. It's going to do, and it's only going to deliver what it needs to deliver to get surface coverage because it's programmed to do that. You're not going to go over any part twice, which an operator might.
Yeah, so I was really impressed. So we signed up, man. We're diving into the drone and
nice
drone stuff. And
the only thing that worries me, is in the event that the operator is disabled or distracted. I'm guessing the drone, just if it doesn't get a signal or gets a weird signal from the operator, maybe it just holds itself.
Yeah, itself. Probably do an auto land when the battery gets
just that because I know from what if it poles, is that okay, our guys can electrocute themselves, but the other one is you go off the edge of a glass-clad building and you're trying to clean that outside edge, and you got half your brush on the building and half the brush off the building, and it's windy or whatever, I've had a pole drop from 5 stories, and then you go shit, like if there was a person under that, you got that. So I always think from a what if it pole perspective, dropping a pole could kill somebody, so then should you zone off that area and say you can't walk in this area because the pole, just for the short time, because the pole could drop, and then you think of the drone, if the drone fell out of the sky or the guy operating it got hit by a car who lost control in a car park, or I don't know, you know what I mean? And he lost control of himself, does the drone stay safe, because you just don't need that thing falling out of the sky,
So I had a lady, we did that 10-story building we did. So I was up on an 80-foot lift, and we had the road closed. Road was closed off, right? Closed off. I'm up there. Next thing I know, I look down, man, and I see this like the little buses. Little buses like to pick up the old people. So this was like an old person place, right? I see this little bus trying to squeeze past the lift, but there's no room. And so she's rubbing on the lift.
And you're up there.
She's rubbing on a lift, and I'm up there. Yeah, and my guys have no idea. So like, what's going on? So finally, when I get down there, man, this lady, she's open the door. She goes, I don't understand what the problem is. I'm like, lady, are you serious? I'm like, you could have killed me. And then she like closed the door. She was all mad. And then like 2 minutes later, she opened the door. And she's like, you know what? I apologize. I just realized what I did. And I'm like, so yeah, like on work sites, you don't know. So that taught us a lesson, man. Even though we have a road closed off, we need to keep somebody down. Unfortunately, now to stand around and pretty much do nothing to make sure nobody knocks us off the lift.
Yes,
that would suck.
Yes,
that would not be fun.
Oh, that would. Well, it could be 3 seconds of fun and
right. 3 seconds of fun. Yeah. I don't even like going on big lifts, man. I do it once I get going, man. Like in the morning time for me though, it's just like when I first get ready to go, I'm just like, we're going up there. I'm like, I can reach you from right here, and then 15 minutes go by, and it's kind of like, like zooming, going up, going up. It's just weird.
Yeah. Hey, go back to Tim's question, Ben. Do you need FAA Part 107 licensing?
Oh yeah, it's actually more than that. You do need that. I mean, you need that for any commercial drone,
right?
But they require you to the drone place requires you to do some training, like some serious training.
Right. Yeah. So then you can handle what? Yeah,
you do need 107 though. You do need. I mean, technically, if you use your drone and take pictures of your of jobs you do, you need a 107.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's the interesting thing. Like Chris Honey talked about EMFs, because you get the solar flare. I don't know. There's one due. Was there one last week, or there's one due this week, or something? But a super big one. And then they've said, like they put out a warning somewhere in the world. I can't remember now, but if there's a big solar flare, it can really interfere with electric operations.
Yeah. That's insane.
But anyway, I mean, that's what you go to the course, and that's why you pay the big money and you buy off the people who have thought it through, because their business lives and dies by no accident as well, right?
Yeah, and it could happen. It doesn't matter. It could be a drone. It could be a lift. Anything can happen, man.
That's right. It is.
I seen a video where you might have seen a video. There's a video going around. It's been around for a while now, where a lift caught on fire, and a dude was hanging.
Oh,
he got out of the lift on his harness because he was getting heat. And he was just hanging up. He didn't know what, that was crazy.
There was one where the guy was in the lift and he was backing under some power lines, but he'd put his aluminum pole in a holder or something, so it's attached to the frame, and the aluminum pole he was under the cable, but he didn't think that he'd had his pole extended and the pole, and then in the end, the tires, like rubber, we all think rubber tires are going to protect you. As rubber tires caught on fire,
Oh wow, that's
it
crazy.
was that much crazy.
Yeah, so you can have accident, anything, man. I mean, it could be. Yeah. Everything we do, anything we do, we can have an accident. Honestly.
Yeah. No, well, that does us the full circle on staying safe and hug your kids, isn't it? Yeah, Tim uses a spotter when his lift is out in public. It is what it is. But in fact, Chris Honey wrote to me today. He's got this really difficult waterbed job, and it's got foliage all the way around the building, and it's got a deep set. The window's deep set, probably 3 or 4 feet. So you got a concrete slope and then the window.
Yep.
So he needs to use one of our max reach. He's got to go in maybe 4 feet, but the pole, to get to flat ground, he's got the pole is at a weird angle, too weird, too hard on the pole from the flex point of view. So then I said, you really got to get in among that foliage, but then you need another person to watch the person using the pole every step they take, because that you can lock and clean a lot of a window, but then when you go to move, you need somebody's watching you, because you got to watch the pole, right? You can't watch your feet and move.
You can't watch your feet. You watch the pole. Yep.
Yeah. You're going to keep that from falling as well, because otherwise it'll go off once it loses. There's a point where you can save it, But if it goes over and you've got free ground, you just run underneath, like balancing your broom pole when you're a kid. You just get underneath it and straighten it up. But if you've got foliage down there, trees and shrubs and shit like that, you can't run and get underneath it, so it's going to fall, for sure. So, but the same, the spotter is a really big part of, safety.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
It makes it so easy, man. Stuff we have now with the waterfed poles and everything makes it so easy. It really does. It's so easy. I mean, even pressure washing. So, I mean, back in the day, they used to do that on ladders with the pressure washing the whole house.
Yeah,
man. So it's so easy now, right? Just spraying some chemical and rinsing it off.
Amazing. Well, there are other parts of the world where you just can't spray chemicals. They won't let you.
They won't let you. I know. Oh, I know. I see the post and people, call them out, and I see it.
A house washer in Australia washes your house with a broom.
They scrub it down, right?
He's got to scrub it down. No chemicals. Yeah. Maybe detergent. Maybe he's allowed to use detergent.
Yeah. You can't. You mean you can't spray 5% SH on the house.
No bleach. No.
And melt everything.
No.
Just melt everything in its path. You know. Same. Hey, you get over pressure, you get over bleach, man. Over chemicalized. There's so many. I mean,
there's so much to learn as well, isn't there? You know, on the way through. You know?
There is, but unfortunately, I mean, a lot of people. I mean, it doesn't. From the outside looking in, it doesn't look like that. It's such an easy business to get into. People, you know.
Yeah.
Home Depot buy a pressure washer for I don't know how much they cost now. I'm sure they went up $500, whatever. And they're on Facebook like, hey, people are looking for pressure washer. Like, oh yeah, it's me. I got you covered. They don't have a clue, man. They don't know what they don't know. It's not their fault, right? They have no idea.
No,
you don't.
No, that's what we know. They don't.
You don't need to do that. You can just. But and then you have the opposite. You have the guys that are spraying chemicals, but they're, you know, they're just spraying so much chemicals. It's like. It's just uncalled for, you know. You've
seen it all.
Seen it all, man. But what do you do? I know they were talking about regulations the other day. We don't want regulation. We don't want to be regulated, man. We don't want to be regulated. That's not what we want. I've seen guys say, "No, if we get regulated, we'll get rid of all these guys." No, you won't. They're still going to be doing it. They're going to be doing it. They're just going to be doing it unregulated. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The people that are really legit are going to be the ones who are going to suffer.
Yeah.
So that's not the answer.
Jason Thomas, you aren't supposed to spray and pray. Yeah,
spray and pray, baby. That's what it is out there. Spray and pray. Spray and pray.
Good on you, Moy.
Moy said we use Reach It.
Little Reach It.
We use Reach It. The rocker brush is the best. What my guys love now.
Yeah, no, it's unbeatable. Although Ben has just started using G-Force, and he's
oh my gosh, game changer.
He's got a little love thing going on.
Absolutely. I'm in love.
Yeah, I think I see some videos of him doing it. I think I see some videos of him using it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason Had's what's Reach It.
What's that? He said. What's Reach It?
See, I've got this running as a cuss-free zone. Otherwise, I'd be, giving Jason a bit of
getting on him.
All right. I think we can wind this up as an hour and a half. Can you believe that?
Yeah, we've been
amazing
for a while, man.
That's great. I love it. You're an easy talk, Jamie. That's fantastic.
Hey, you see some of our membership meetings, man. Some of our membership meetings went on to 1:30 in the morning.
Oh goodness me!
Yeah, I know.
Goodness me! Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
We kind of try and keep these like an hour if it's finished at an hour, but otherwise. So we
seems like they're getting longer and longer.
They are, yeah, but that's because we got more interesting, and we're getting better. We're getting better at asking good questions, keeping it flowing, and all that.
Yeah, Kurt was on for a while last week.
Yes, I mean, wasn't he fun? Goodness me.
Kurt's awesome, man. Kurt's awesome. I love Kurt.
I love that guy. Yeah,
he went through some stress, man.
Oh,
he went through some stress, man. He went through some stress.
I loved him being so frank about it because. I had that with a gunslinger. I don't know if you remember that story.
I remember.
That
I remember.
Bloody, we spent $40,000 on all the equipment, and then all of a sudden, like 1 in 10. In the end, it was 1 in 10 had a leak, and I was ringing everybody personally and writing and saying, "Tell me how yours is," and trying to take the heat out of it, And Harrison's going, "You don't need to do this," and I go, "But I do because I'm doing my best,"
Yeah, and they were doing their best.
That was the worst chapter of my whole life in the industry. That little window, then that had me near in tears. One day I put a video up, and people rang me and said, "Dude, take that down, get your shit together." And in fact, I think I probably wrote something similar to you one day when you lost the plot, right? And I said, because I said to you what somebody said to me, "Dude, get it together. We've got this. This is just this too shall pass." Oh,
yeah, and it's awesome.
I was devastated.
Yeah,
broken.
Hey, but it's the way you bounce back.
I was getting shot from 360 degrees. Says a guy couldn't make a right turn without somebody with an arrow pointing straight at me.
Coming at you.
I nearly swore.
Yeah, I don't think Kurt didn't have it that bad.
No, but for Kurt, it would have felt that bad,
For Kurt,
because he because he knows they took it very seriously. How many dollars people are losing when that system is not working, right?
Yep.
There are quotes not being given. So bless them in the proper way.
Yeah, we asked for it, and they're making it happen. So, there's going to be some struggles,
right?
There's going to be some struggles, but hey, at the end, man, it was worth it. We had no problems, right? They fixed all the bugs, and it was.
That's it.
Yeah, that's all it came down to, man. It was just a little bit of bugs, and a lot of people went back to the old UI, and
right.
We never did. I stayed on it. I'm like, we're not going. So they released. I'm like, we're staying here. We're just here. We're going to learn it. We're going to learn it because this is where we want to be.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But that was nice talking to you guys.
Right.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
And, you guys are kicking ass on the show. I love it. So.
Great. Yeah, we really appreciate it. And then, a couple of months later, I'll give you another hoy, eh? Or if you've got something interesting like going on, or you say, hey, this will be great content for Service Six Sigma or whatever,
Absolutely.
And if you've got any buddies that you feel would be great interview, stories, I want to get Flip on here, and this is Flip, Yeah,
you got to get them on there. They are the whole husband and wife team thing, and the stuff is awesome.
Yeah,
a lot of guys need to hear that. A lot of guys.
That's what because I lost a marriage over being a workaholic. Which I loved. I love working. So I didn't not love that, but the consequence of feeling that everything is okay and then everything not being okay. That I think to learn from couples that are doing it right and keeping their communication right. Grace and TJ were on the other night and they were talking about it. I think it's a really valuable thing for people to draw and bring into their marriages and say, this is how it's going to work, or I need to increase my level of communication or whatever, It
is, because people are struggling with that right now. I know people are struggling with it. They struggle with it because they don't know how to turn it off, and that's where Flip is a little bit different. He learned how to shut it off. When his workday is done, his workday is done, and it's over. Done. It's over. That's not easy to do. It's not.
No,
it's not. No. So, but yeah, you should get them on. Definitely, I think it'd be really beneficial for people to hear.
Yeah, great. All right.
So,
love you, man. You're a champion.
You guys, and,
thank you.
Anything, let me know. And it was awesome hanging out with you guys. I appreciate it. And
fantastic. Okay, Jamie.
All
right, Benji, hit that closing sequence.
Thank you for watching or listening to another Service Six Sigma podcast. If you enjoyed the content, please like and share with other mobile service contractors. We live stream daily, Monday to Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. All previous podcasts are available for viewing at service6sigma.com. And for listening on your favorite podcast channel, just search Service Six Sigma. See you next time, and you have an epic day.